Hello and welcome to the Lakefront News. I'm Danielle Ojeda. We began this newscast with news from a fraternity at Our Lady of the Lake University under fire after allegations of sexual assault have been brought to attention. Lakefront reporter Gabriel Torres tells us more about this topic.
Thank you, Danielle. This semester has been a rough one for one fraternity here at Our Lady of the Lake University. Omega Delta Phi had sexual harassment allegations spring up earlier this semester.
It's hard for me to talk about it, but I have seen and experienced inappropriate actions from those members.
That was one OLLU student who wishes to stay anonymous about her experience with the same fraternity that is now under fire after allegations of sexual assault sprung up in early February. OLLU official could not speak on camera, but did release this statement. It is standard operating procedure with the Judicial Affairs Office does not engage in interviews, comments, or share information with individuals not affiliated with the conduct case process in regards to any conduct allegations and or violations of the Student Code of Conduct. With this topic being highly confidential, the Greek Life members are not allowed to talk about this subject to the public. However, on April 15th, the Omega Delta Phi Fraternity Incorporated released a public statement on their website and shared it on their social media. The Omega Delta Phi Fraternity Incorporated is not only being investigated at OLLU, but across the nation. Their organization released a statement on social media on their website to respond to the allegation. We hope the actions outlined below serve as a catalyst for a greater push for accountability. These allegations are still under investigation, and if you have any information about them, you can contact Title IX or contact OLLU PD. This has been Gabriel Torres reporting for Lakefront News.
The main campus at Our Lady of the Lake University holds so much history. One historic building was once a nuclear fallout shelter. Reporter Lauren De Leon has more information regarding this San Antonio landmark.
Thank you, Danielle. I'm here outside of the Fine Arts Building located at Our Lady of the Lake University, where many students pass by this sign every day. I asked students if they knew the meaning behind this sign.
I'm in and out of there like crazy for directing class. So it's kind of crazy. I have never seen that sign until now.
Christina Arietta is one of the many students at Our Lady of the Lake who pass by the fallout shelter sign not knowing its significance.
It's also like a nice piece of little history there because, I mean, OLLU already has so much history in it, so I always see that cute little sign there and it's just a nice little reminder of all the history here.
A fallout shelter is a bunker designed to protect people from nuclear radiation. The United States government commissioned the university to build the shelter during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, the shelter remains untouched and out of sight. Officer Robert Munoz of the OLLU Police Department was not available to comment on camera, but he believes that the site is not active and he himself has yet to see the shelter.
Concretes, bricks, and sand are some of the materials strong enough to withstand fallout protection, and those are the materials that are found here in the Fine Arts Building.
Senior Monty Chavez tells us that the fallout shelter sign actually reminds him of the movie The Iron Giant and how the movie is filmed during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Iron Giant, and so like it's kind of filmed in the same time period, and it shows like what they're supposed to do if there's a nuclear fallout, and it's like these kids duck under a desk and like place a bomb right on top and they'll be okay. And
if you have any more questions regarding the fallout shelter in the Fine Arts Building, contact one of the sisters in the archives room or contact OLLU PD. This has been Lauren De Leon reporting for Lakefront News.
Our Lady of the Lake University is about to receive new members of the Saints Family Fall Semester 2019. And I'm not talking about incoming freshmen. Earlier, I talked to faculty and students about OLLU's new pet-friendly dorms.
If you're an on-campus resident and applied for housing for the 2019-2020 school year, you may have noticed a new, unique living option.
We're still somewhat in the planning stages of the pet policy for next semester.
That was Victor Salazar, Director of Residence Life, sharing the status on finalizing the pet dorm policy.
Students who would like to have a pet on campus, either a dog or a cat. And so it's just a pilot program, and we did a very small area of Centennial Hall. And so that just wanted to clear that up, that there's this thought that it's all over campus that this is happening.
Although you may see student residents with emotional support animals, that process is run by the Students with Disabilities Office. On-campus pets will be looked over by Resident Life. Lakeview apartment resident Eliza Tijerina stated the more dogs, the merrier.
Positive thing to have dogs here. I mean, they keep me active. He wakes me up when I have to. Sometimes I get super depressed. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed with school. When I see him, he knows.
Tijarina also mentioned how her dog positively impacts others as well.
I have other roommates and other friends around the apartments that come by. They knock like, hey, can I just see Prince? I'm like, yeah, like, can I even walk him? I'm like, yeah, go for it. Or can I pet him? Can I see him? And he's just like that go-to guy.
While most agree it's a positive thing to have pet-friendly dorms on campus, others think that it has a negative impact on the university.
No, I'm not for the pet-friendly dorms on campus.
Resident Ariana Brown explained why the extra responsibility for college students is not a good idea.
It's going to be kind of dirty. People can barely take their trash to the trash can, so how could they be able to take care of their pets? Like, if they're roaming around, we don't know if can't tell between like a stray dog or if it's somebody's pet.
Certain conditions will have to be met for those students looking to live with a dog or cat.
We have only returning students who are eligible for this process. And so a couple people have reached out, and when they completed their housing application, they expressed interest. And so once we have that final policy taken care of, we're going to send that to those students to say, hey, this is what you're going to be agreeing to. Would you still like to move forward? And so that's kind of where we are right now.
Okay. Reporting for the Lakefront News, I'm Daniela Ojeda.
At the top of OLLU's Sacred Heart Chapel, you can find bells and, on a rare occasion, students. Lakefront reporter Santiago Reyes investigates the consequences for students who might get caught climbing the OLLU bell tower.
Here outside of Our Lady of the Lake University, in front of the Sacred Heart Chapel, where some students have climbed up to the bell tower. But what would happen if they get caught?
I've actually seen people on Snapchat go up there and stuff like that. And I'm not gonna lie, like some of my friends have tried going up there, but they couldn't. But yeah, I've seen like people on Snapchat like in the bell tower and stuff.
Aaron Marrufo, a student at Our Lady of the Lake, does not know what would happen if a student gets caught climbing the bell tower.
What could happen? They can get arrested, so maybe warning. I feel like the cops are very lenient on campus, so.
And one student didn't even know OLLU had bell towers.
I didn't even know we had a bell tower. How are they getting up there? Why are they going up there?
OLLU Administrative Sergeant Robert Munoz said that there could be consequences for students if they are caught climbing. The university does not have specific consequences listed for those caught, and there is no sign telling students to stay away.
They'd be questioned, the information would be taken, then a few days later somebody else would follow up with them. Maybe disciplinary action would follow after that.
Although there can be consequences to climbing up to the bell tower, Sergeant Munoz believes that it can be a safety hazard to students.
Potentially a safety issue. I've been up there, and it's a little scary. Could you lose your balance and you can hurt yourself, seriously injure yourself. So that's a safety factor that we have to keep in place.
Reporting for the Lakefront News, I'm Santiago Reyes. Back to you, Daniel.
Our Lady of the Lake University students competed for a Service Learning Award. While they didn't walk away with the win, reporter Serapio Marquez tells us how this nomination is a win itself.
Thank you, Danielle. A select group of Our Lady of the Lake University students were nominated for the award in their service learning with STEM Ministries. I spoke to one of those students and found out what the award nomination means to her.
But it's a really great experience to just.
That was Carolina Sanchez, an OLLU student taking theology. Her class requires her to complete service learning, and she chose STEM Ministries.
Went from 3:30 to about 6, and we help children that need help with their homework, whether it be math, science, history, and sometimes even helping them with cursive.
STEM Ministries is an interfaith organization that helps those who are homeless or about to become homeless by providing services, companion, shelter, and food.
Worked with STEM Ministries for 8 years now in one of the courses that's been Service Learning Catholic Imagination, as it's called now. It used to be Introduction to Catholic Theology, and it has been a long-time partnership.
Dr. Jane Grovajan, who's the head of theology department, oversees the service learning and says she was surprised and thrilled to see that her students were nominated for the Service Learning Award in early April.
Made my heart sing. The nomination from STEM Ministries was one of those nominations that recognized the history of our relationship, so the history between the Lake and STEM Ministries through this particular course, And it recognized the hundreds of hours, between 800 and 900 hours, that our students gave to these kids in homework help.
Although OLLU students didn't win the Service Learning Award, Sanchez tells us it was an honor to be nominated.
Fortunately, we did not receive the award, but just to be nominated was an honor. And for me to represent OLLU was definitely a highlight of this year.
As a student who participated in Homework Helpers, and now as a graduating senior in May, I could not be happier that the students were recognized for their service learning for SAM Ministries. Reporting for Lakefront News, I'm Serapio Marquez.
Stay tuned for more information on how a good mood results in better health.
Welcome to the Lakefront News. I'm Santiago Reyes.
Studies have found that optimism is beneficial to your overall health. It's linked to a healthy heart and can even help ward off diseases. Optimists also have lower blood pressure, which reduces the risk of coronary artery disease, as found in a study by scientists at Harvard and Boston universities. People who are more optimistic also tend to have healthier behaviors, such as diet and exercise, that contribute to a longer life. About a third of adults are not doing enough physical activity, causing 5.3 million deaths a year. That equates to about 1 in 10 deaths from diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, breast and colon cancer. Researchers suggest the public needs to be warned about the dangers of inactivity rather than just reminded of the benefits of being active. Researchers found among women, drinking coffee may reduce the risk of depression. Depression is said to be 20% lower among women who drink 4 or more cups of caffeinated coffee than those who drink little or none. Those who drink decaf, tea, soft drinks, and other beverages containing less caffeine did not appear to be as protected against depression. Stay tuned for a weather update after the break.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Upcoming weather for finals week is going to be just as gloomy as the overload of exams. Rain and thunderstorms are being predicted for the whole weekend. Friday will be a high of 71 and a low of 66. Saturday will be a high of 83 and a low of 67. And Sunday will have a high of 85. Stay tuned after the break to find out about the Donut Festival coming to San Antonio.
Have an event coming up? Why not advertise it in the lakefront? You can get your ad in as low as $50 in our university paper. With 1,000 copies printed monthly, your ad is sure to be seen. For more information on prices, email lakefront@olusa.edu.
Do not miss out on the San Antonio Donut Fest, happening Saturday, May 11th at the Tobin Center for the Performing Arts on the Will Naylor Smith Riverwalk Plaza. Feast on pastries from dozens of local bakeries, sip on some deliciously brewed coffee, fresh mimosas, and more. That concludes this week's newscast and the end of our spring semester. For updates on OLLU News, visit lakefrontollu.com. Good luck to all our Saints during finals week. Until next semester, I'm Danielle Ojeda.